what time it is, you know what day it is, and frankly, not that many people do. I'm talking legs. I'm talking hamstrings, quads, adductors and calves, legs top to bottom, side to side, inside and out. Tonight is going to be dedicated specifically to a pretty reasonable amount of quad obliteration. And hamstrings and everything else. And by obliteration, I really mean, if I obliterated them, that would kind of imply I hurt myself. Not one of my goals here. And don't worry, I'm not texting. I'm looking at Google Maps. This gym is a little bit too far for me to remember the way, so I always gotta scan down. But yeah, plan for legs, hamstrings first, quads after, because I don't really have that much fun doing any real hard sets after quads is over, because for me to finish hamstrings, it's whatever. I'm not insanely systemically fatigued. I've got enough energy for quads, but for me to finish quads, it takes a lot out of you, at least if you really kill it. So it's like, I don't want to do any heavy working sets after my last set of leg press or something. I want to be done, be able to move on. Now that might be kind of a maybe a little bit of a wuss mentality on my end, but I've just had the most luck with that approach. It kind of lets me, in a sense, save some energy so that when I'm on to quads, I can really go fucking, full tilt, hard as possible, without worrying about, okay, I've got 5 more sets of RDLs after this set of leg press. I'd like to think I'm like die hard enough that I don't leave anything in the tank, and like every set I'm like, okay, this is it. And it doesn't matter if I had 100 sets in front of me, I could still push it like that. But subconsciously, I think that still does play a little bit of a role. Now, if you like doing quads first and hamstrings, I'm not going to tell you not to do it. But just make sure that whatever routine you're on, or exercise selection order you're doing for legs, that you do go pretty hard. Some guys like to do quad movement, then hamstring movement, back and forth, and maybe do 3 sets of, or just go movement by movement. Maybe 3 sets of hamstring curls, 2 sets of leg extensions, 2 sets of RDLs, 3 sets of squat, 3 sets of another kind of hamstring curl, 3 sets of leg press. Kind of bouncing around like that. I'm not as big of a fan, just because I feel like I kind of lose momentum. If I just finish a quad movement, if I'm still on quads, I want to move on to the next quad movement right then. I'm strong, I'm fresh, and I'm warm. I feel like a few movements off, a few sets of rest in a way, kind of take me out of the zone a little. Now, sometimes I do superset leg days, but probably not all the time. So that's the plan there. I'd say hamstrings, maybe 6 sets or so, mainly laying hamstring curl. There's not a seated one at this gym, and some Smith machine RDLs should be just about perfect. And then quads, I think, is going to look pretty similar to most of my quad days here. Well, subtracted from heavy Smith machine squats. Those I don't necessarily need as much when I'm dieting down. And the reason I say that is I'm already in a energy depleted state right now. I'm already basically running on, not fumes, but close to it. So, for me to suddenly now load an insane amount of weight through my whole spinal system, rather than just, through my hips, like a leg press, then it really is taking a lot of energy out of me, which I really don't think is going to translate to any more quad maintenance. Because don't forget, that's all I'm trying to do. I'm trying to keep my quads as big and strong as they are right now, but not let them shrink, not let them get any weaker. Not going to get any bigger or stronger in a calorie deficit. Definitely not at this, level of development. So if that's the case, then we all love this term. Not risk to reward, the fatigue to stimulus ratio is then off, because the fatigue I'm looking for is not so drastic. it's simply not worth the fatigue of my lower back and my whole trap system and really bracing, because it's going to be trickier to recover from that. And to do more isolative work is just going to let me funnel more energy into my quads. You know, it's like if you got a magnifying glass, when you are doing a back-loaded squat, rather than having a pinpoint little beam of light right there, that point we could say is your quads, you're out of focus a little bit and you're spreading your effort around your lower back, your glutes, your erectors, your lats, your chest, even to hold the weight. And it's like you just really do lose some efficiency. That's why I'm not a massive deadlifts fan, or not really a fan of deadlifts at all for my training specifically, because I think I'm better off spending the amount of energy that I would spend on 2 heavy sets of deadlifts on like pull downs or chest supported rows, you know, something where the targeted muscle is not only the primary but is almost the only muscle being activated. So that's my thought process there. I've got a little bit of a drive, I think 20-ish, I guess it says right here, 21 more minutes left. So right about when I'm close to pulling in is when I'll drink the pre-workout, because I want to be fully caffeinated by the time I'm done with hamstrings, because hamstrings isn't going to take more than 30 minutes. That's almost the hamstrings is almost the prelude to quads, the real fucking, you know, down and dirty part of the workout. So that's the plan there. Let's just get amped up, fucking blare some tunes, and get ready to throw some shit around in a controlled, squeezing, and intense manner. So let's just get in there. This machine in particular does not aid itself to my style of a nasty, heavy, brutish set, which isn't a good or bad thing. It's just different. But something about the strength curve and just the way it's kind of oriented, you know, it's like comparing a regular dumbbell curl to a preacher. You're not going to do a preacher this fucking fast. You're going to rip your shit off. So instead, almost forcing me to do a bit of a more controlled squeezing set, but that is fine with me. So let's make it happen. Single leg and go from there. Left side first. A little heavier. Okay. Ooh. One more just like that. Okay, oh my god, okay. Ooh. Let's do a double leg version. Probably similar weight, but I might adjust the strength curve. That's what this fancy thing here does. I can make it heavier or lighter at the top and the bottom. Okay, whoa. That wasn't bad. But I think one more won't do me more good than some RDLs will. So let's go scurry over there. I like a good Smith RDL. Failure gets a little tricky to define on an RDL like this because I want to go until my hamstrings are cooked, but I'm not trying to destroy my glutes and lower back. So it's kind of more like, okay, my glutes and lower back are doing too much. That's my cue. One more of these though. 3 plates feels pretty light. I was kind of surprised. This felt like a lot a few weeks ago. I think the fact that I felt kind of strong with 3 plates might be giving me what I guess you could kind of call strength fallacy. So even though 3 plates didn't feel that crazy, after that set, kind of in a little bit of a self-reflection, my hamstrings were burning, but not as much as I kind of know that they should. So I think what that tells me, I was missing out on some of the stretch position. So I've given myself 2 little 25-pound plate urethanes. So I'd say 4 inches in height, more than you'd expect, honestly. But let's do this one a little lighter, more form, squeeze, stretch focused. Ooh. Yeah, that was a better set. I think that's going to finish with one more single leg lane curl, and then quads can begin. Oh my God. Let's take the wind out of me a little. Part of me might only be doing this set because I feel like 5 isn't enough, but I do think I can be a little more pumped hamstring wise before I move on. That is something to think about though. It's like, if you guys have, maybe not you, but you know somebody who's got like a 15 set hamstring workout or a 15 set quad workout, I think it's worth looking at the density of intensity of each of those sets and saying like, why are you doing 15 junk sets if you could probably get the same, if not, I would say better stimulus from 5 insane ones, but more realistically, 7-ish good ones. So something to think about, because it's not like working out is a waste of time, obviously. But I do want to work out in a way that's effective. You know, I don't want to be in here and toil. I want to be in here doing serious, legit, stimulating work. You know, I'm not doing this for no reason. Like, as much as I do like the training part, it is for that greater purpose of, you know, muscle stimulation. So let's get this last one going and move on. No. Oh my god. Okay. That's enough. Okay. Time for quads. I'm already fucking soaked. Single leg, hefty, one leg at a time. That will be the perfect opener. And I'll probably do 3 of these. You know, I kind of want to be pre-exhausted before whatever first set of pressing I do, because I don't need 1,000,000 pounds through my knees. If I pre-exhaust and then I need half my normal working weight when I'm strong, that is fucking not only fine by me, it's what I'm aiming for. So let me just get amped up and go crazy. Left side first. Oh my god. Okay. 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 One more. This set will be left, right, sets of 5 until quads are obliterated. And I have already preloaded the hip press with 5 plates on either side. So I know that's gonna be like within range. So I'll start there, add a plate, add a plate, add a plate, do like 1 feeler rep of each weight. And then once I feel like, okay, I can maybe do this for 10,
8 might even be a stretch. That's what I might be aiming for. But actually, I don't know. Now that I say that, maybe I'll aim for a little bit higher reps. Well, I'll see. Let's focus on the set at hand first, not get distracted. All right. Okay. Okay. Oh. Let's move on and take a few minutes to rest. Oh my God. Whoop. I got a little bit too excited, I think. 5 plates felt like nothing, moved up to 7, then to 8, then to 10. I almost failed 1 rep with 10. But even though, that may seem like, okay, I should drop it down to 7 now, your strength and your fatigue level is a little funky when it comes to later in the workout. It's not like a 1 rep max where an extra 5 pounds is either going to make or break a rep. So to drop it from 10 to this 9, plus an extra minute to a rest, this will be a good heavy one. But I'm almost certainly going to have to drop the weight after this set. But all that's left for me to do now is go crazy. Ooh. Okay. Oh my gosh. No. Oh, I think one more just like that. And then I might finish with some squeezing leg extension. Oh my God. Oh my God. No. Oh, shit. Yeah. I almost didn't even do 3 sets of these because I was like, oh, that feels kind of heavy. I'll just do 2 and call it a day. So that brings up the question, what's better? 2 decent sets and stopping because it got easy, or because you wanted to take it easy, or 4, maybe doing a little too much, but you at least know you went nuts. We can get into that later. Oh my God. I think, I don't know what I think. I gotta sit for a second. Oh.
It's great isolation.
Yeah. Oh, this is perfect. Oh. Time for a light squeezing one, just to finish them off. One more. Okay, oh my God. All right, doesn't matter if my head gets poked out a little bit in the mirror, but I think tonight was the lift where I felt the weakness of the deficit as much as I have this full dieting phase. So 3 weeks deep is when it hit me like a fucking, feels like I procrastinated a fucking project or an essay, and tonight's the due date. But very good lift, and I'm glad I didn't puss out. I almost only did 2 sets of that leg press. In my mind, I was like playing mind games with myself. I was like, oh well, 2 is probably still good. I mean, you did a pretty heavy leg day last leg day. No, that is the fucking baby wuss that floats in all of our minds and tries to convince us, oh, it's getting hard. It's getting hard. You probably shouldn't do any more. It's getting hard. Maybe take it easy. Dude, come on. What are you, fucking 3 years old? You said you're going to have a good leg day. Just because it's a little tricky now doesn't mean you got to stop. So let's see how they're looking. Oh, boy. So my quads will get progressively more defined and separated as this dieting phase continues. I feel good. I especially feel good now that it's over, which is definitely not a negligible component to a hard leg day. You know, there's a certain enjoyment that comes with chest or, you know, arms or shoulders lifts that I would say are a little bit more chill in general. I mean, if I had somebody doing like an old school documentary style vlog of me lifting, like where I'm not talking to the camera, they're just like zooming in on me from afar, you probably wouldn't think that I was having very much fun at all. Like it really would probably look like I'm just sitting there just, I mean, honestly, just fucking pissed. But that's the fun part. Because now, as uncomfortable as it was, I get to be done and say, okay, whew, a little sigh of relief. No, I pushed myself. I get to sit down in the car, scroll on my phone for probably 20 minutes before I even start the drive home, because I need to kind of a little bit of a cool down period. And then get ready to start the whole loop again. So I'm extra excited to see every, you know, teardrop serratus lateral medial head of my quads get more and more revealed and defined. But at this current rate, you know, looking over and seeing these lines, especially with a quad pump, I'm not dissatisfied. I'm just about where I'm aiming for 3 weeks deep into this diet. And I'll only continue to get freakier as time progresses, which brings me a lot of just feel goods. Let's get out of here.
All right. Did not wuss out on the quads, but my lift ended up being a little longer than usual, or at least a little longer than expected. So I'm gonna go ahead and make the decision to do adductors and calves with tomorrow's cardio instead of tonight, which does make it a little easier for me to add. Frankly, I'm not insanely concerned with making sure that I do calves with my lift, you know, with pre-workout, with everything, just because they're, you know, I'm kind of just aiming to maintain them right now. So adding 8 sets to a post-cardio plus a little bit of adductor, I think that'll balance out a little bit nicely. And I'm not just saying that because I didn't want to do them tonight. I do, well, adductors I am saying because I didn't want to do them tonight. But calves I do kind of like adding with morning cardio. That's, I've been on that kick for quite some time. But when it comes to, oh my God. When it comes to just a semi-baseline kind of motivation sort of thing, you know, it's, here, 1 second here. The air's getting fucking dry. But, I mean, you know, I can't explain it. I can't tell you specifically, like, okay, how to get amped up and excited. I mean, I don't know you specifically, you know, right? As much as it may seem like it, you guys are living in your own world, and I'm living in my world right here. And even though we're kind of going back and forth like this, we're fucking miles upon miles apart, you know. Plus, you've had a completely separate life experience from everyone else around you. So it's like, what gets you amped up? What gets you excited? It's kind of up to you to sort of discover. You know, frankly, I think that's where a lot of kind of character building can be done. It's not necessarily in just like getting older, or like I got this job, or I went to this school, or I get this whatever. It's I think a lot of depth that can be gained as a person is going to come from what kind of things can you do with your free time and really get into like that, you know. So it's if I could boil down what gets me going, frankly, at least in the beginning, you know, when I started working out and I started getting into all this, and I gradually got more and more, like, I mean, basically just deep into it. You know, at first it was probably just a couple of feet. You know, I got some dumbbells next to my desk in my bedroom. I do some curls basically just every day. You know, when I'm sitting there playing Fortnite back when season 1 was still a thing. You know, just like goof around. And then now I'm fucking driving 45 minutes for a specific gym because I wanted to use its specific leg press, which none of the other gyms around me has. I've definitely gone sunk under compared to just dipping my toes in the beginning. But even back then, it's really just at least for me, like an understanding of, okay, it would be pretty cool if I could do this, and I don't mind the fact that it's going to take a while. And part of the reason I don't mind that is because I get to enjoy the process on the regular. I'm excited to train. I'm excited to come into the gym and work out. I love being around the space. It's just like, sometimes I haven't always loved the idea of calling the gym a safe space when I was younger, because it's like, I'm in here and fucking grind, but it really is. It's just a space where you can really exert yourself, and if you're into it, then it's so nice to have guys who are basically doing the same shit as you, killing it all fucking around you. I mean, the vibes are all there. So even if you are feeling a little off one day, you can look around for some external motivation and say, okay, everybody else is in here killing it. What am I doing? Come on. That's the par in here. That's the level that everybody in here is bringing. I got to bring it. Come on, let's get going. Right? It's a parallel play it's certainly a fucking enjoyable fucking activity, I say. So that's where you've got to somehow enjoy small steps. I'm not exactly sure how far I'm going to be able to take bodybuilding when it comes to like accolades or anything, but that's just something I'm going to find out along the way. What I'm really excited about is, okay, I'm making gains, I'm getting smarter with my training, I'm still enjoying my training just like in the beginning. I'm going to keep this ship rolling. I got a pretty strong, solid ass amount of momentum, like I'm a freaking freight train going freight train speeds. It takes a lot of force to stop something like that. So that's where, I just want to keep going. Right? It's fun. I'm excited to see what's ahead, So I can't, it's hard for me to answer questions like that when, somebody might say, like, Sam, what do you do if you feel a little off? You're not feeling like the most amped up. You're a little out of the zone. It's kind of, which there is something to that, of course. I'll watch specific kind of hype videos, or like some Bruce Lee, or no, some, what am I saying here? Like some Rock Lee TikTok edits, or, some shit that gets me excited and going. So sometimes I do have to use kind of a catalyst like that to get extra excited. But, that's like a 1 out of 10 fucking thing, And half of that is, I know that I enjoy a good lift. So I kind of put a lot of effort and time into making sure that I'm in a position to have a good lift. And what I mean by that is, if I get 2 hours of sleep one night, I'm not going to have a good workout the next day. If I don't drink enough water and I'm dehydrated, I'm not going to have a good workout. If I don't eat the proper amount of food that I'm aiming for, be it bulking or dieting, then it's going to be off, And if I'm not like in a zone and I've allocated a specific time of day to come and do my workout, and I have to bounce it around like random outside circumstances, like, okay, well, am I going to work out today? Well, I don't know. Or is anybody hanging out tonight? Maybe I'll see what everybody else is doing. Like, it is a certain give and take, so if you give yourself a set of circumstances to follow, which keeps you in almost a prepped state, then when 5 o'clock rolls around, or 6 o'clock rolls around, or whenever you kind of set up a time where, okay, I'm working out right after school, I'm working out right after I get home from this, then you're ready for it. It's like, who do you think is going to be more? Well, that's kind of a bad example. I don't like to bring that up, but I was about to say, who is going to be more ready for? It's a terrible example. I was going to say a home invasion. Right? The guy who's fucking equipped, he knows what to do, he's got an alarm system, or the guy who leaves his door unlocked. That's not a very good example, though. But I'm not joking. The guys who put in a bit more effort and allocate specific actions and time outside of the gym are going to perform better in the gym. And not only that, they're basically cheating in a way, because if your sleep and your diet and your hydration are all in order, the odds that you get to have fun when you come into the gym and you feel good and you're excited just probably tripled, if not fucking quadrupled. I'd say pentupled or hextupled. But no, seriously, if I roll into the gym underslept, under fucking hydrated, I got a fucking headache because I don't have, because my brain is either like swelled up or contracted a little bit because my hydration is off, That's pretty much 9 times out of 10 the cause of headaches across the fucking state, across the, well, probably world. But you know, of course, there are guys who get specific like migraines. That's its own thing. But I'd say 9 times out of 10, if anybody comes up to me and is like, Sam, I keep getting exertion headaches. If I ask him, okay, how much water did you drink today? Do you have electrolyte packets in your cupboard? Have you been drinking any of those? I mean, that's my fucking morning routine pre-cardio. It's kind of a waste of money, but I do like an energy drink, like a Monster, like a Rockstar Zero or something. Just kind of for the fun of it. But sometimes I'll just do a caffeine capsule, like literally the equivalent amount of active ingredient for like 4 cents instead of $2. That's a good little life hack right there. But that with a liter of water and some kind of electrolyte packet, and that's instantly what I just slam off the rip, because then I'm up. I'm ahead of the game hydration wise. I go to my cardio, I go sweat some. I'm not feeling extra dehydrated. I already had a liter of water. I'm aiming for maybe 4-ish throughout the day, sometimes 5 if I'm extra thirsty. You know, it's those things really do add up, and I don't think they get enough like props because it's not fun and exciting. You know, it's not exciting to say like, oh, make sure you carry your jug of water around. Hey, make sure you go to bed on time. Hey man, make sure you eat your ground beef and your potatoes and your rice. You know, make sure you have a good meal 2 hours before you work out. You know, it's more fun to just like think about well, the fun part. Like training hard, it's like, oh, PRs, oh, different 3 scoops of pre-workout. I'm getting fucking. It's like, dude, you can't over caffeinate yourself and make up for the fact that you only got 4 hours of sleep. You maybe got into your REM cycle for like 20 minutes. You know, I can't state that enough. Of everything that's going to go into your gains, training obviously is a factor, a strong factor. You know, you need to be kind of improving your form and different techniques and changing it up every so often. Don't get too stale. But equally as important, if not potentially more so, sleep, hydration, meals. If those things are fucking in place, dude, the sky's the fucking limit, right? Now, of course, within reason, right? Depending on your situation, you've got your own rate of progress, which you're aiming for. But if you are making progress and all those things are in order, 2 months pass, 3 months pass, where you can look back, you track your weight every week, and you're like, holy crap, dude, I'm up 5 pounds. And I'm just as lean as I was before. You know, man, I guess Sam wasn't fucking lying about that calorie surplus. Whoa, dude, that is fun. And on just a smaller scale, that's how you get to feel after a hard lift, especially legs. I mean, that wasn't necessarily the most enjoyable activity, maybe in kind of like a weird masochistic way because it was so hard. But sitting down in the car after, finishing those leg press, dude, I'm sure if you gave me like a brain scan with a million sensors across my skull and you could like find out what parts of my brain were firing, I'm sure all the fucking feel goods are going hard, and in a good way. I don't mean like the parts of your brain that spike when you scroll on TikTok for an hour and a half. I mean like more wholesome, legit feel good signals are going all around, and that's at the cost of I did something which was hard, right? So that's all I'm saying there, And we know that everybody knows this. We all know. Eat, sleep, train. There's fucking t-shirts all over the place. But try not to get too excited by anything that's too novel. It's like, what's the greatest workout split of 2025? If you're doing a workout split from 2024, you're missing out on gains. It's like, dude, whatever. Maybe not totally whatever, but hit every muscle twice a week. Rest days as necessary. Schedule them in, take them sporadically, whichever one works for your situation. And then, dude, if you're counting your calories, you're hydrated, you got your pre-workout, and you're going hard. And I know I'm getting repetitive here. This is the last time I'll say that for this moment. You're going to separate yourself from the herd. And I hate to say it, because frankly, I wish there was no herd. I wish everybody was locked in, everybody was killing it, everybody was an absolute dog in the gym, or at least working their way up to it. But, it sucks to say there's a pretty fucking large percentage of guys where it's, you live for 2 years and then you just kind of plateaued, they're not putting in they're not putting in the effort that a 2-year deep lifter needs to put in to continue to make gains, right? You got to adjust to that sort of thing over time. You know, if you move up to fucking 5th grade from 4th grade, the homework and the class problems and the tests are going to get harder. So if you go at it with a 4th grader's, you know, mentality and kind of approach, what do you expect, man? That guy's going to fail. You know, you got to get a little smarter and make these adjustments over time. Not to, you know, not to compare. I mean, I'm sure some of you guys are fucking 30. I'm not calling you a 4th grader or anything, but you know, that's all I'm saying there. Right? Stick to the basics, go hard, and if you do, over time, a lot of these kind of fitness gimmicks will begin to reveal themselves. You know, that's my shtick there. That's my ender for this post leg day talk. But I've got about 20 more minutes of the drive home. Actually, no, what am I saying? I got 30 minutes more of a drive home. Go home, slam some kind of something. Probably some eggs. I've got a bunch of ground beef and steaks and stuff, but they're all in the freezer. I gotta thaw those out beforehand. That's something I gotta start getting a little smarter with. But probably just one last meal. I'm pretty close to my macros for the end of the day. All I need is like 50 more grams of protein and however many carbs and fats I've got left. 3 weeks deep. This diet is going strong. I can't even, well, I don't want to think about anything that could potentially, you know, derail me. But I think we're in for some freakiness as these weeks continue to pass. But until then, let's just keep taking this on a day-by-day basis. I've got chest tomorrow, which, well, I'll save thinking about chest for tomorrow. How about we just get home and go to sleep? So I'll see you for that lift.